Hey guys! So it's been a while since I've shown you my knitted and sewn projects, so I thought I'd show you what I've been making recently. So we'll do some knitting projects first. This is maybe my favorite thing I've made recently. If you watched my stuffed animal pattern video, I talked about wanting to make this guy, and I finally did. This is the Some Pig pattern. I forget the designer's name, but I'll link her down below. So cute! I wanted to use stash yarn for this guy, and I had two beautiful pink skeins of yarn, so I decided to do this striping pattern on him, and I think it's so cute. And this is so unintentional, but doesn't he look like Piglet? I love this size of stuffed animal because it's the perfect thing to kind of like hold in your arm. And yeah, I'm starting out with a bang. This is definitely one of my favorite projects. Next, this is another big project. I've been working on this for what feels like forever. But yeah, look at this guy. So cozy. Of course now in LA it's in the high 80s, so I may have finished him a little too late, but I did get to wear him in Utah. So this is the Lakes V neck pullover by Ozetta. She's a really great designer. I don't think I had any issues with the pattern. I did struggle with the yarn. I got this yarn from my grandma for Christmas, and I love the shade. When I went to do the gauge swatch, I could get my stitch count gauge to be right, but not my row gauge, like no matter what I did. But I was so determined to use this specific yarn for this specific pattern. I was just like, I'm gonna make it work. I'll try it on a bunch. And it worked out. I don't know that I'd recommend it, but I would just, when the pattern gave measurements, like the length measurements, I made sure to knit to that rather than whatever row count they gave me. So we can jump into a couple finished objects for sewing. This guy is a little tote bag that I made recently. This was a super fun project. I also made a video on this, so if you want to see the full process, I highly recommend checking it out. Yeah, it was a really fun make, just using up a bunch of random thrifted fabric. Yeah, and even got to do a little bit of quilting on this top bit. So then I made these two little mice, and they're so sweet. I think of them as me and my boyfriend. They have knitted I-cord tails, which I think is just such a fun little touch and kind of brings in my love for knitting. And yeah, they were super easy. I will link the pattern I followed for these guys down below. I definitely want to make more. I have some blue velvet and some yellow velvet that I got at a thrift store, and I think I maybe need some colorful mice. But then I'm gonna end up with a mice army, but I don't see a problem with that. These are my first pair of jeans. This was definitely a struggle project, but I'm really glad I did it. I said I was gonna start another pair of jeans for myself, but I'm a little bit traumatized by this, so I think I need another couple weeks before I jump into that. But yeah, I think they're super fun. And my boyfriend has worn them a couple times. So I guess I'm gonna jump into my WIPs and all my works in progress. If you watched my last knitting update, I think you would have seen that I had started or bought the pattern for the Stella Quilt blanket by Laura Penrose, and I've been slowly working on it. So I have one finished square that I think is so beautiful. This purple, this sparkly purple, is one of the skeins I got at the yarn festival, and it's just so so stunning. I'm obsessed with it. And I think it pairs so nicely with this dark brown. And yeah, I really love how this turned out, but the back kind of scares me. Look how many ends that is, and I've weaved in a ton on this, but there's still so many, but that's okay. And then I've started another one, but I haven't finished it yet. And this one is very neon. I think those colors are so fun. Next, this is another fun project that I'm actually working on with my mom, which is super fun. I don't know, there's something about like doing the same project with a friend that makes it all the more like motivating and exciting. And it's also just really nice, like when the pattern's hard, we get to talk about it, and like one of us can help teach the other, and yeah. So I've only got the sleeves left to go. So I'm actually really close. So I want to power through. I'm seeing my mom in a couple weeks, so I want to finish this before I see her so we can wear it together. I've been working on a petite knit hat. This I actually started only a couple weeks ago. This is the Oslo Hat. And I'm using mohair for the first time, which is fun. Of course, not weather appropriate, which is probably why I've slowed down on this hat, because a mohair wool hat is not exactly something I need in LA right now, but it is very nice. I think that's actually all the knitting projects I have. I'm someone who doesn't like to have a ton of WIPs on the go, like at one time. I just find it really overwhelming. It's kind of nice to have a simple project and then a more complicated project as you go. Okay, we'll go on to my sewing works in progress. So here's this guy. I'm not sure that I've shown it in a video before, but this is my hand quilting piece. And it's very slow progress because I'm making it out of teensy hexagons. I'm hoping to turn this into a pillow, so I don't need to make it massive, but I still want a decent sized pillow out of it. And yeah, this is just kind of a fun, like, I don't know, meditative craft, because it's just the same thing over and over and over again. My last WIP is a quilt. This is just one of the quilt blocks that I have, but it's been really fun. I'm using all thrifted fabric for it. Yeah, I'm really loving how it's coming out. I'm a bit frustrated with myself because, so you need a lot of background fabric for this pattern. And so I decided to cut up one of my like old sheets, bed sheets, because I had an extra one that I didn't need anymore. But I gotta say, it's not great quilting fabric. It frays like nothing else, and I'm a little worried that it's fraying too much and that I'm losing a lot of the like edges on my blocks. So I'm just trying to be so delicate when I move these to hope that I won't fray it too much. But yes, it's a little bit stressful, and I kind of wish I just spent the extra money and bought some real quilting cotton for the background. I've been trying not to buy a ton because I have a pretty large stash of fabric and of yarn. So I only have one real purchase that I made recently, and it's neither yarn nor fabric, but this little case. I randomly found this at an antique store. It's definitely not an antique. I think it's made for collaging, but it has all these different compartments. So I've put all my cables, all my stitch markers, my needles. I now have it all organized in here, and I even have space for more notions in theory. So yeah, let me know what you guys are currently working on, and yeah, hopefully I get my knitting mojo back. We'll see lots more projects next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.